welcome to Sound Wellness Practitioner Spotlight. I'm Sharon Karn of Sound Wellness, and I am so excited to welcome you here to the Sound Wellness Facebook page and to introduce Carmen Hansen to you. It has been my honor, deep, deep honor over the years to mentor many brilliant practitioners. And so I thought this year it's time to really share these people and their skills with everyone. So I am just delighted to welcome Carmen Hansen. She is a brilliant practitioner. Let me tell you just a little bit about her, and some of this information is in the post. She is an animal communicator. She is a sound wellness practitioner, a shamanic elder, and a metaphysical teacher, focusing on bringing love and light to our world. So wait until you hear her story. I'm so excited. Welcome, Carmen.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for having me on, and thank you for creating this place for us to show a little bit about ourselves.
Oh, I'm really, really excited to share you with the Sound Wellness audience, Carmen. And I know we've been doing lots of other events lately too, and this one is just focused on just you. So I would love to find out a little bit more about was there a turning point or was there a way in your story where you started to shift or feel a change in direction?
Some close calls with vehicle accidents jolted me into really believing there was an active spirit world. Um, Receiving my first picture communication from a dog, um, and just generally awakening to the idea that there's a bigger thing that we don't even see out there. It was gradual, and it was when I got to partway where I am now, I was surprised. Oh, I did that? Oh, okay. So it was kind of a rolling ball of, and my sister kept poking.
I love this. I have people who poke at me too, and I'm so grateful for them because they really help nudge you towards that soul purpose. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Well, I was in from grade 1 to grade 10. I was focused on my goal, my in my little blue book of school memories. I had every year veterinarian. I wanted to be a veterinarian. And when I went to volunteer at a vet clinic, I did some mundane stuff, filing and sweeping and stuff for a first while. And then I was invited into a surgery for a cat's eye. And it was so traumatizing that I left and never came back. I said, I can't, this is not, this is not my idea of helping. And so I dropped it. And I was a gas jockey, a, a driver, a courier, a shuttle driver, many different things that were just a bit very low key and kind of useful, but not really in service of the higher good. And then I was working, my best paying job was an oil and gas job in document control. And I guess the catalyst would have been that I got laid off.
Huh, yeah, I think that experience has been quite a catalyst for so many people. So what happened after that?
Well, I went to Olds and I took a course to 10 bees.
Oh, cool.
And I had previously taken the Sound Wellness, what's it called, an event? What did we used to call it? The
The
Sound
Sound Wellness Solution, and now it's our
Solution.
fundamentals of healing with sound and music. Yeah.
Yeah, so I took that with my sister because you were offering a very awesome package price for two people. And I bought a bowl that first weekend and really didn't utilize it as much until I started investigating being a practitioner. And it was just like it was always supposed to be. Oh, why did I ever waste my time? Well, so I could get the experience so that I could understand what it means to be, hand to mouth, really living tight to the budget. I was homeless for a little while, so I know that experience, and I'm grateful for them all to be able to hear other people's um, woes or experiences that they're coming through that they would like to shift.
Mm. And what a huge capacity for compassion that is given you. I'm hearing that and feeling that, Carmen. It's just enormous, and people can feel so safe sharing with you and know there's someone who has experienced so many things. Um, And one of the things in our own personal story with the two of us is how we met, and I would love to just share some of that story. It was at a landmark event, and do you want to go on and tell the experience that just kind of happened after one of the days there?
Well, we were at the end of our day, or almost, well, we were at like 75% of our day, I believe. And one of the ladies at the breaks, just before we were off to go on our break, she came to the microphone and apologized for being absent or vacant. She was sitting in the seat, but she wasn't. And she came up and apologized. She said, I just haven't been present here. My friend, I just got word at our supper break that my friend was in a car accident and was injured. And that's all I can think about. So immediately I stood up and invited anyone at the end of this seminar, like I didn't want to interrupt the seminar, or we didn't have a very long break, so we couldn't do it. But I invited anyone that was led to join me in I don't know what I asked for, a prayer circle or a
I think
intention.
yeah, a healing circle or prayer circle, something like that. I don't remember the exact words either, Carmen, but
Mhm.
yeah.
And like my sister had been teaching me Reiki, so I was intending to use those skills. And I don't know what else I was thinking of, but anyways, it was you and one other lady who was some type of shamanic practitioner. Maybe she's anyways, there was three of us in the circle, and we were just talking about creating a healing for her, or a space for her to heal, holding space for her to be okay in her life. And when we were finished, you looked at me and you said, "You went there." I'm like, "Oh, I guess I did." And so that awakened me to another possibility that I was already naturally doing without even really realizing it. And that awakened us to each other as well, because you were right behind me.
I
And
was. I went there too. I followed you there.
so there we were together in the hospital room going, "You're going to be okay." And then we heard later an update. That woman that had announced that said that it wasn't as serious as it first appeared, and her friend was going to be okay. So I don't believe in coincidences.
Neither do I. And I just love how synchronicity brings the right people together at the right time. And I've always trusted that. And I've always been so amazed and in awe of how that brings such great opportunity and possibility to life, because that opened up a long, which is definitely going to be a lifelong friendship, Carmen, between the two of us. And I also want to say, Carmen, I love animals, and Carmen and I have almost finished creating our level 3 program of sound wellness for animals. It was time to be able to teach our practitioners to how to bring sound to support an animal's healing. And it has been a blessing and a delight to work with Carmen in creating this course for our programs. And I'm so excited to be teaching with her and have her participate in teaching our programs now. She's just so brilliant. So tell us more about about communicating with animals. I know we'll be doing more of this on the 22nd, where the two of us are doing another show for EWN, Enlightened World Network, One with the Earth. We have Positively Connected coming up. And so we'll be working with live animals on the air on Facebook. And so tell us more about working with animals.
Well, working with animals is actually, we make it so complicated working with humans, but working with animals is actually, they take on new ideas quite easily. They don't get stuck in, they do have habits, yes, and such things are a reminder. What I do is provide reminders for them for the next week or so. Remember, you're pooping outside or whatever. So it's always a remember. And my first little animal that ever spoke to me was a little Jack Russell, and he had just had surgery. And his owner was, she tended towards, I believe that her condition was almost like a bipolar, because she had highs and she had lows. And so she was in a low, obviously, with the stress around his surgery. And she was very distressed and worried that, exercise and such would damage him. And he was bored out of his tree. And so he sent me a picture of his favorite. He sent me a picture of a big black lab, or like it was it looked like a bigger than a lion. It looked like a panther to me. And of course, looking through his eyes, it would be quite large in comparison to him. But it looked like a lab. And I said, well, what about this black dog? And she was amazed. She hadn't told me anything about about doggy daycare, because that was where that dog is. And she had kept him out of doggy daycare, and she hadn't taken him on walks. And he showed me another picture of him laying there going, it was, and I knew what it was. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, okay. So and then I told her that. I said, he's really bored. And she says, well, I've been very hesitant. I said, well, he needs a little bit. Maybe you could take him on a slow walk or something. Anyway, so that communication. And since then, they send me their pictures. I started sending them pictures so that I could impart the human idea on the animals. They don't always understand the human way to do things, because they're a lot more simpler, and they just do things by nature at times.
Like you
So
said, we tend to make things more complicated. That's an important point, Carmen.
yeah, so it's been a real joy. And there's times where I get really upset, or not upset, but almost I stress myself out, because I want to hear, or I want to get the right message. If I don't coach it in the right way to have them understand the idea from the reason that they are doing it.
Mhm.
So if it's out of anger, if it's out of rebellion, if it's out of laziness, even, I haven't had that, but or pain, they can't drag their poor little leg out the door or whatever. So um, then we can work together to create a solution with the owner and the animal. I'm like the middleman to create a different occurrence in their household at that time. And that's been a real blessing. And sometimes they just talk to me across the road. Hey, I know you. Huh?
How beautiful. Can you tell us a little bit about what a session would look like with an animal?
With an animal? Well,
And a person too, actually, because I know
well,
you're just as brilliant with people.
yeah, my sister gave me a kick in the soul pants, as you would say, to to get busy with animals. She said, "You're doing great work with animals, and you need to offer this to people as well." And so, I mean, Sound Wellness helped me bridge that gap as well. So because I had now tools that could actually be used for people, we're very well. Show me, show me, show me, show me. And if I'm just going, okay, now I'm flowing energy through your spine. And if you're not sensitive enough, if you've been, you know, kind of tuned out for long enough, it takes a while for that to come in.
That's true.
And so the energy that I do will do something, but it might not do what we're expecting. So, anyways, the session would look like, well, my first start is usually checking in to see if the animal or the person is grounded and then balanced, and then chakras in alignment, because our chakras can be spinning just fine and perfectly and all perfectly connected, but if we're not in alignment, uh, beautifully stacked on each other, there can be ramifications from that. So then I check for the alignment, and once I've done I usually tone the chakras if they're out of whack, because that's usually a very good base to start from. And once I do that and I've connected, well, I ask permission to the animal, and the person obviously has given me their permission by coming to the session or by joining in, but the animal can't. So I ask permission first. Hey, you want to connect? Who are you? Well, I'm Carmen, and I just want to, and then I pet them a little bit. I just introduce it gently, and then we do the chakra toning. And by that time, then we're connected, and they're usually telling me things, or I want to impart some ideas to them as well. So that, and if they're live, they enjoy a bowl bath. Some really enjoy drum, but that's a big energy, and some of them don't. So I take it easy on that. So Tibetan bowl bath is really, most of them ever that I've tried have enjoyed it. Tuning forks are a hit and miss that I've found. Dogs can get very worried about the buzzing. So anyways, I usually end with my song pods and a little blessing prayer and a love bubble, and that would be a general session, and other things come in. Like, I can't even tell you all the things that come in, that all of a sudden I'm twirling around on one toe and going blah, 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 and that's makes them laugh, and that was part of it. And so it's hard to really describe a session. I mean, I could say what I start with, and then I leave it open and just say, guide us, because the elders and guides, usually my elders and guides, always come in.
They sure
uh,
do. This
and
is Mhm.
and the other people, or sometimes the animal, well, animals, I believe, have guardian angels. So their guardian angel steps up and helps me too.
Oh, this is a wonderful description, Carmen. And does this work as well online? I know I've seen you work once online with an animal. It was like, wow, it went to sleep right away. It was quite amazing.
Yes, it does work online. And I mean, my preference is being in person. However, with the circumstances in the world right now, it's been a real blessing to be able to do it online and just say, okay, I'm there. It's almost like being in the hospital room when we were doing that. You just send a piece of you there, and all of a sudden the cat's purring and going to sleep, or the bird is quieting, or uh, what else have I worked on? Gila Monster uh, stopped running around his cage frantically. The dog is now farting in the corner.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And with people too, you can do the same, well, not exactly the same kind of session, but also the same kind of brilliant work with people, whether
Yeah.
it's in person or online.
And online, I use my voice, my song. That actually it comes from the person or the animal. The song just flows through me, and it's I consider it to be light language. Um, it's not words that I know, and they just flow off me. So usually people get a song, or animals get a little song, and that's also very comforting.
And we get a chance to experience a little bit of that today, Carmen. So I'm so excited about that too. So people can experience that kind of settling energy that Carmen provides so perfectly. Can you tell us any more about other services you offer?
Well, in person, I could do a Tibetan bowl massage, which is such a delicious, as you know, such a delicious treat for the body, and sound bath with a drum. I enjoy doing that, and the elders really come forward with that one. Uh, my bowl as well. I can't deny that. Um, Tuning forks. I have a set of tuning forks, and I will place them on painful areas. As most of the practitioners will know, we can actually put them in the field, just do it in the field if it's too much, or put it on the body and create a release in a specific area, whereas the bowl and the drum are more of a general boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely they are. Are there sometimes other online types of services you offer? Or I know at times you have given nighty night sessions or good morning sunshine sessions for just a pick me up or a help slow me down.
I started Good Morning Sunshine early this year, and it I did it with a test group for a month, and they all loved it. And it just kind of dropped off my scope scope. I intend to grab hold of that again and use that. I do individual nighty night sessions, and that's a great idea. I'm going to write that down, Sharon.
Yeah,
Uh,
and for those who are listening, Carmen, they can contact you for more information about those. Mm.
Group nighty nights might be possible as well. So rather than just serving one at a time, serving a small group at a time is serves my energy better and my time, and then they don't have to book a, well, I wouldn't work that late anyways. But some people want to go to bed at 11. Well, I'm not doing a 10:30 session. I pretty much am done by 7.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, and these kinds of things I find with me, they flow in and out of my practice, where sometimes there seems to, it feels like there's more of a need and interest for it. And then sometimes things just are quiet a little longer. So I know in many practices, these things flow in and out. So I do recommend everybody watch Carmen's Facebook page and her website for any new services flowing in and out. Can you tell us how to get a hold of you? I know there are links in the post to this video that people can use. Can you tell us your website for those just listening?
Well, my website is Chakramize, CHAKRAMIZ.com.
M-I-Z-E?
M-I-Z, yeah, M-I-Z-E
E.com.
.com. Chakramize. And it's backwards for you guys, so you can't see it, but
We can see the mice there, so perfect. Oh, there it is, Chalkamize. Beautiful. And also you're on Facebook, so people could
I'm on
message you.
Facebook. And Carmen Hansen on LinkedIn. And I stepped back from Instagram. I felt like it was very awesome for pictures, and I didn't have any pictures anymore when we were isolated, so I stepped back from that.
Understandable. Can we spend a few minutes in, Carmen has prepared a short experience for us. So I would love to experience that, Carmen.
Thank you, Sharon. I will. I'm going to get my bowl. This is fairly new to me, and I've been very highly blessed to have it in my presence. The name that came into my head for this bowl is Machindra. And it seems like it's not just one. It seems like there's a group. When they put the intention, when they hand pounded the intention into this bowl, it seemed like there was many good intentions coming in. It just flows really nice, and I can feel like a beam of light. It amps up. I feel it quite often, but it's almost like it brightens or enhances. So I'm just going to give you a little taste of the bowl. Can you hear it, Sharon?
It is so beautiful, and the sound goes on and on and on.
It does. One more. And I invite everybody to just breathe that in. And one more, maybe. Breathe in this vibration that we're sharing and connecting with. Nice breath in and relax.
Oh my gosh, that was so calming and centering. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to do so.
One question I forgot to ask, Carmen, whereabouts are you located? So if people are in that area, they can come in person or they can connect with you for an online session.
Well, I'm in the Red Deer area now, in a small town by Gull Lake called Bentley. And I moved here last year.
Okay.
So online, if you're in Calgary, obviously it's about a 2-hour road trip to get here. If you're in Edmonton, it's almost the same. actually, a little bit less.
Hmm. And
Uh,
online is always a great option too, isn't it, for this kind of service? So beautiful.
and some people just say, well, it's not as effective, and that's their journey, and it's fine.
Hmm. Is there anything else you would like to end with? A reminder for people or any particular advice?
I think right now in these types of situations that we're in, I would drop into my heart, put my hand over my heart, and hum more often so you can connect mind to heart and fill yourself, fill your cup before you go rushing around to fill your kids, your husband, your wife, your friends. Um, the trick is to fill yourself so that you have extra to share. And if you love yourself as well, you can't help but be loved by everyone else.
Oh, that's such perfect advice. Thank you so much, Carmen. This has been so fun finding out more about you and the gifts that you offer to others and to animals, how precious that is, and for this beautiful advice for filling your own cup. Thank you. That's a good reminder for me too. I've been using humming more and more lately myself and finding it really, really supportive. So I'm so grateful that you were able to be here on the first Practitioner Spotlight. What an incredible honor and delight to share some time with you. And I want to invite everyone in 2 weeks. Dee Mago will be here and we'll get a chance to explore her skills and her gifts that she and services that she provides. So for now, thank you again, Carmen. I'm Sharon Karn of Sound Wellness, and we'll see you, my friends, in 2 weeks. Bye for now.